Hi everyone, Carol here. Welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna be talking about the most known diets people like to follow. So let's go. First diet I'm gonna be discussing, it's called healthy diet. Healthy diet is a diet that maintains or improves overall health. Generally, a healthy diet consists of many fresh fruits, vegetables, and limits processed foods. Healthy diet provides the body with essential nutrients such as fluid balance, macronutrients such as protein, micronutrients such as vitamins, and adequate fiber and food energy. If you are having foods and drinks that are high in fat, salt, and sugar, have these less often and in small amounts. This diet also can be related to the method 80 to 20 diet. Simplify. Eat healthy meals 80% of the time and have more freedom with another 20%. This rule is inspired from the Pareto principle. It comes from economic rule that states 80% of consequences come from 20% of causes. Try to choose a variant on different foods to get the wide range of nutrients. And healthy diet can help lower your risk of heart disease and stroke by improving your cholesterol levels, reducing your blood pressure, and helping you manage your body weight and controlling your blood sugar. Another diet is called ketogenic diet. Ketogenic diet, also known as keto diet, which is based on very low carb and high fat intake that shares many similarities with the Atkins or low carb diets. Simplify. Keto diet is meaning you need to eat less than 50 grams of carbs a day. So you cut back most on the carbs. They are easier to digest, like sugar, soda, pastries, and white bread, and filling up on fats such as meat, fish, eggs, and healthy oils. It's also important to moderate your protein consumption. This is because protein can be converted into the glucose if you consume in high amounts, which may slow your transition. Drastically reducing carbohydrate intake and replacing it with a fat puts your body into the ketosis. What is ketosis means? Ketosis is a metabolic state in which your body uses fat for fuel instead of carbs. So how this process exactly works? When you eat less than 50 grams of carbs a day, your body eventually runs out of fuel it can use quickly. This typically takes 3-4 days. Then you will start to break down protein and fat for energy, which can make you lose a weight. It's important to know that the ketogenic diet is a short-term diet that's focused on weight loss rather than pursuit of the health benefits. People use a ketogenic diet most often to lose weight or if they have some health issues such as epilepsy, heart disease, or brain disease. So when you decide to follow this diet, I recommend it to talk with your doctor first to find out if it is safe for you to try out. Raw diet. Following a predominant raw food diet is not new. These eating patterns have been around since the mid-19th century and typical includes unprocessed whole, plant-based food such as fruit, vegetable, nuts, seeds, beans, and so on. Proponents believe that raw food contains additional health benefits such as a higher nutrients level and that cooking can be destroy important enzymes in the food. So raw food is usually restricted to any foodstuff that hasn't been heated or warmed above 48 degrees. Processed or refined foods, including those that haven't been pasteurized and tinned, are usually forbidden. The majority of a raw food diet will usually be plant-based, although with a lower grain content than a typical vegan diet. Some people consume unpasteurized dairy products, and others also include raw dry meat and fish. A low-carb diet. A low-carb diet means that you eat fewer carbohydrates and higher proportion of the protein and fat. This also can be called a keto diet. However, not all low-carb diets result in ketosis. Studies now suggest that there is a little reason to fear natural fats. Instead, on a low-carb diet, you don't have to fear fat. Simply minimize your intake of sugar and starches. Make sure you are getting adequate protein or even higher amounts of the protein, and you can eat enough natural fat to enjoy your meals. When you avoid sugar and starches, your blood sugar tends to stabilize and the levels of the fat storing hormone insulin drop, which may make it easier to burn fat stores in the body. In addition, the higher protein intake and presence of ketones, if eating very low carb, may make you feel more satiated, thereby naturally reducing food intake and promoting weight loss. Gluten-free diet. Gluten-free diet excludes any foods that contain gluten, which is a protein found in wheat and several other grains. It means eating only whole foods that don't contain gluten, such as fruits, vegetables, meat, and eggs, as well as processed gluten-free foods like a gluten-free bread or pasta. Gluten is a protein naturally occurring in certain foods, but it can also be added to foods during the processing for texture. Gluten can be used as a binding agent and flavoring, so you can sometimes find it in foods you wouldn't expect. In addition to foods like a pizza, pasta, cereal, and baked goods. Gluten can be in everything from soya sauce and ice cream to certain medication, beauty products, and dietary supplements. Some people think going gluten-free means not eating any carbohydrates, but this isn't the case. Lots of foods that contain carbs, such as rice, potato, and beans, don't contain gluten. If you cut all gluten out of your diet, there is a risk that you could miss out on nutritional whole grains, fiber, and micronutrients. Getting enough whole grains in your diet is especially important if you are at the risk for heart disease or for diabetes. Whole grains can lower cholesterol levels and even help regulate your blood sugar. In addition, some gluten-containing foods are sources of important vitamins and minerals, such as B vitamins, iron, and magnesium. So who should eat a gluten-free diet? Especially people with the celiac disease, people with the gluten sensitive, and people who are allergic to wheat. Like a following diet, we got a intermittent fasting. What is intermittent fasting? Many diets focus on what to eat, but intermittent fasting is all about when you eat. With intermittent fasting, you only eat during a specific time. Research shows fasting for a certain number of hours each day or eating just one meal couple days of a week may have health benefits. How does intermittent fasting work? There are several different ways to do intermittent fasting, but they are all based on choosing regular time periods to eat and fast. Practicing intermittent fasting could also help you to enter ketosis faster, but the most common method involves limiting food intakes to around 8 hours per day and fasting for remaining 16 hours, and this method called 16 to 8 intermittent fasting, which involves limiting your intake of foods and calorie containing beverages to set windows of 8 hours per day. So, you abstain from the food for remaining 16 hours. So, you are still allowed to drink water and other no calories beverages like a plain coffee or tea. Or you might choose to eat only one meal a day, 2 days a week. As I mentioned, there are many different intermittent fasting schedules. It's only up to you which plan would be comfortable and mainly sustainable following for a long-term period. And like last, we got a vegan diet. It's based on plants such as vegetable, grains, nuts and fruits, and foods made from plants. Vegans do not eat foods that come from animals. They are also devoid of animal byproducts such as honey, lesser known animal based ingredients like whey, casein, lactose, egg white albumin, animal derivated vitamin D free, and fish derivated omega 3 fatty acids. We have a term called ethical vegan, and it's someone who not only excludes animal products from their diet, but also tries to avoid using animals, animal products, and animal tested products when practical. Another motivation for veganism is concern about animal welfare. And if you are guys wonder which diet I'm following, So personally, I prefer low carb diet. I follow it for many years already. So I'm targeting for less carbs and focus for increased amount of protein and natural fats. So this is a diet which suits me and is sustainable for long term. Not anyone can follow this diet because intakes less carbs can be for most of the people unacceptable because of lack of calories, which will make them feel tired during the day. So you need to choose the one which would really be easier and mostly sustainable to following in long-term period. As I mentioned in previous video, all body is unique and every organism works slightly different from the others. Simply, what is suitable for me doesn't have to be suitable for others. Thank you for watching this video and I will see you in the next one. And remember, be fit, be strong, be healthy.